Are you charting your cycles yet? No, I don't mean recording when you've had your period. I mean, take your temperature, ovulation peak test, cervical mucus recording. What? No? You're not? Well, then I'll tell you 5 reasons that if you're trying to conceive, I think that you really should, and why it's my #1 fertility tip. Hello lovely, and welcome to another one of my videos in which I'll be sharing 5 reasons that I think you should be charting when you are trying to conceive. Seriously, it's been my #1 fertility tip for years, which is why I developed the Basics to Fertility Charting course. And I just checked, over 16,000 women have gone through that course. It feels mind-blowing. Anyway, I do think it proves that there is need for this information, need for the information that we need charting, and why we need charting, and then of course how we do it. So if after watching this video I have convinced you to start, but you don't know how or where or when or what, then sign up to my Basics to Fertility Charting course. I have made it as simple as possible because I found it really important to make the information accessible and easy to apply to your life. Anyway, shall we jump into the 5 reasons? So #1 is that with charting, you can discover your own fertile pattern. And you may remember from biology class that the textbooks tell us that we have cycles of 28 days and we ovulate on day 14. But it's really not the case for so many of us, and it's definitely not the case every month. So if you start charting every month and you discover when your fertile window usually opens or when you usually ovulate, then that gives you an idea of what your pattern is. So you will know if you ovulate on the early side or the later side, and it's really helpful when you're trying to conceive to be able to pinpoint when you tend to be fertile, so you can plan for you both to be in the same country or the same state or same city for that matter, right? Or you don't plan any other important engagements that prevent you from spending time in the bedroom. And reason #2 is that you can learn to make the most of the cycle, because if you've just started to try or you've just discovered about charting, then you don't want to have to be charting for several months before you can identify when your fertile window opens, right? And that's the great news. When you learn how to do it, you'll be able to identify this cycle when your fertile window opens. And it's really important that you know when your fertile window opens, because contrary to what a lot of people think, you aren't actually fertile every day of your cycle. Sperm lives up to 5 days under the best circumstances. An egg, 24 hours. That leaves us with a maximum of 6 days in our cycle that we are able to conceive. So you don't want to miss out on that window, do you? Especially if you think about the fact that a lot of us do ovulate earlier or later than what is textbook. Then you want to make sure you know how to identify when your window is opening so you can make good use of it. And as I said, you can start doing that this cycle, unless you've already ovulated, in which case it'll be next cycle, but that's pretty quickly. It's around the corner, right? Reason #3 that I recommend that you chart is the reason that I ask all of my patients should chart. And that is because from your charts, you are able to identify if there is a hormone imbalance or if inflammation is going on. Yeah, really. So much so that I've developed an entire course teaching you how to interpret your charts and to identify if there's adrenal stress for you going on, if there's hypothyroidism, if you might be struggling with PCOS, if there's an estrogen or progesterone imbalance, if there's inflammation. All of these things you can spot from your chart. And yes, of course, you can go to your doctors and get tests run, blood tests run, and sometimes that's really important. However, you can't do that every single day of your cycle. You often can't even do that once a week or every month. Not only that, sometimes with your blood test, your results will actually be within range. But on your chart, you can see that your adrenals are starting to struggle, or you are closing in on menopause, or your thyroid isn't functioning the way that we'd like to see it. And the earlier you can catch it, the quicker you can fix it. If you're already charting, or you're ready to also learn on top of charting how to interpret your charts, then make sure to have a look in the description down below, because I've got the link there as well, where you can sign up to that chart invitation course. There are videos there on every topic and super easy downloadable worksheets that you can just tick boxes to see if certain things apply to your charts, and that will really make it super simple for you to identify if you're struggling with any of the things that I have just mentioned. And of course, suggested next steps, because that's why we want to identify the fertility hurdles, right? So we can do something about it. And that brings me to reason number 4 that you should be charting, in my opinion, and that is, with your charts, you can monitor if anything that you are doing right now is having an impact on your fertility. Is your fertility improving? Is your hormone balance improving? Is your body less inflamed? If you can identify the hurdles with charts, then you can also see if the things you're doing are working. Your naturopath, your diet changes, your supplement addition, your homeopathic treatment, your detoxing, you name it, you'll be able to see in your charts if things are changing for you for the better. And then reason number 5 is kind of obvious. Charting helps you fall pregnant faster. Yes, Fleur, that's exactly what you've just been telling us. No, but seriously, studies have been done on this. And most of those studies tell us that you have 5 times more the chance of conceiving in any given cycle than somebody that isn't charting. Some studies even say that your chances are improved 7 times. Whoa. So I've totally convinced you right now, right? If you want to learn more about charting, head on over to the playlist on your screen right now. And in the meantime, see you in the next video. Bye.